Hey guys, it is Kekoa and we're back with another video. Still out here in Toronto. I'm headed out to Vanderbilt University on the 2nd of March, I believe. It might be like the 3rd of March, not exactly sure when the conference is, but there's a conference. Going to be headed out there. One of the speakers, Mark Cuban, is going to be there. There's a few of other, speakers, and it's going to be interesting. Right now we're mainly in the info product space. Going to be meeting up with more like venture capital, like more like high scale entrepreneurs and whatnot as well. So I think that's going to be interesting, and yeah, definitely looking forward to that. But today, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about time first thinking and value first thinking. Right? There's two type of ways that you can kind of go about things in everyday society. Right? So if I pull back here on my chair, you can see these two kind of different graphs, right? We have time thinking, right, where you maybe sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours, and then the money that you make at your work, right, goes into play. Now, on the other hand, we have what we call a value thinker, right, where you sleep for 8 hours while your assets make you money. You work, right, and you're actually getting paid for the skills that you have, not the time you spend. Right, you spend another part of your day learning new skills, so then you can also further increase your income capacity. And then also when you play, that's also kind of seen as networking and meeting new people, right? That can ultimately also help you start earning more income. Now, after I graduated from Vanderbilt University, it's going to be really cool going back to kind of the alma mater and everything. Um, you know, the thing about university, right? Even though I graduated, the job that I would have gone into, investment banking or consulting, that still was time first thinking. Sure, I'd be making $100,000 a year plus before taxes and bringing home good money, but I'd also be working 80 to 100-hour work weeks. On the other hand, right, I wanted to actually get paid for something that was more based on the value that I was giving, right? What I think I love about the whole info product space, I just launched another offer. So it's 8 hours of time with me, right? 8 hours of coaching, right? And it's $5,000 for that offer. So I guess maybe in that case, that's paying time for money, but I also enjoy it. But it's still $500 an hour for talking about something I love, right? So I think that's even more on like the networking and play side. But what's really interesting is that, when I was making $10 an hour back at the law firm in Austin, Texas, filing papers in the back room, it was pretty mind numbing. I was making $10 an hour. So how could I go from making $10 an hour to making upwards of 500, 1,000, even more, right, for the same hour of time without doing anything crazy or even going a normal job after college? Well, it really came down to understanding this graph, right? We have assets and we have skills. So if we can build up our skills, we can start earning more income with the skills that we have. Well, then we can eventually funnel that money into cash flowing assets, right? Like real estate, like stocks, whether it gives dividends, whatever it might be, right? To ultimately spit out more money down the road. And for me, what I thought was so interesting, I was on financial aid at Vanderbilt University, and it was really interesting to see the disparities with it, right? Because at Vanderbilt, it's only like $70,000, $80,000 a year. I was on financial aid, so I came in, I was studying human and organizational development, right? So this is like their business and psychology degree. And honestly, I learned a lot. Like it was really great to learn how to like talk and interact with people. And I think that's something I struggled with, right? I'm an introvert at heart, even though I'm like very extroverted when I meet new people. Once I get to meet them, it's like sometimes I just want to like not talk, and that's just like kind of part of me, right? But it was so interesting because at Vanderbilt, I really learned how to talk and communicate with other people. And I think that was incredible. And that's what I'm very thankful for, like university being about. And I think that skill, right, ultimately went towards this value first thinking because I was able to connect with people, understand their true desires, what they were kind of struggling with, and ultimately how I could help, whether through networking or connecting them with someone else, right? Like pretty much how we can help them get to where they want to be, right? Now, the one thing that I think university sometimes does wrong is that it shows people that there's just one path, right? Like a big thing at Vanderbilt was the job fair, right? And all these jobs, you're paid for time, right? You're not paid for value, right? Like that's the reality. Any job, right, that's paying you a salary is not paying you for the value that you provide. Sure, there's higher salary jobs, but even if you produce the company more money, right, they're not paying you more. Like that's ultimately what this comes down to. Because if you can help other people generate more of this, then you're going to get paid accordingly, right? But I know friends of mine, right, that are making $100,000 a year coming out of college. They definitely generate companies millions of dollars, right? But what are they set at? A capped salary. And I think the problem with this time first thinking is that it almost incentivizes you not to do work, right? If you're paid a salary, right, you're almost incentivized not to overperform, because if you overperform, you're not compensated for it, right? Why not instead get compensated for the work and the value that you provide? And I think that's the biggest shift in the thinking that I made, right? Which, I mean, now sold over, about 5.3 million online. It's more now, but you know, and from that, right, it was because I decided, hey, I'm going to work some amount of time in the day. Sure, I'm technically trading time for the work that I'm doing, right? But on top of that, right, it's investing more of my time into learning more skills, which help me get paid more. And now running a business that really only needs me to help out, for 1 to 2 hours a day, I can focus my time on the things that truly provide me energy, right? Which is business coaching and sales coaching, right? I love that sort of stuff. And I like recording these videos because I can kind of just rant, here, and hopefully you guys find this valuable. So that's the biggest thing. I think if you're wanting to make more money, there's nothing wrong inherently with working a job, but at the end of the day, you're going to be capped. Like there's no way to make more than your salary, right? Maybe it's the 1% raise that you get at the end of the year, but is that actually, accounting for all the value that you provided the company? Probably not, right? So I'm pretty excited, for the start of March when we're going to be going out to Nashville. Hopefully, we'll do a little bit of the vlogging then, so you guys can kind of follow along on the journey. But yeah, I think that was the biggest kind of learning experience I've had over this past year, really the past few years, is that if you can find a way to provide more value in a position, right, something like sales, for example, I think sales is one of the best things that anybody can get into, because if you can help a company make more money, then they're incentivized to pay you. Like that company will not want you to stop selling if you're making the money. So if you can always figure out ways to make a company money, you will always be paid for the value you provide, not the time spent. If you're just doing like data entry, right, that can be done by like freaking AI, right? So if your job can be replaced, if your job is easy to be replaced, well, then what's stopping the company from, trying to cut costs? The one thing that they cannot cut costs on are their salespeople, because the salespeople is what generate the money for the company. So once again, if you come in, you plug yourself in. I mean, that's how you're gonna make it. So hopefully hopefully you guys got some value. I'm kind of just bringing more rants here on YouTube, and honestly just kind of getting in front of you guys because it's fun to talk. Let me unhook this real quick. I got this and this is a shameless plug, right? But I got these drinks, these Kin drinks. I was so excited because we just got this box in. So we just got this box of like all these new these Kin drinks, and it's like a reishi mushroom inside of it, which is just incredible. So I'm pretty much pounding. I have 3 coffees in the morning. I grab the whiteboard. So this is like a content day, but I grab the whiteboard, get things sorted and everything. And then I just pounded two of these Kin drinks as well. But I hope you guys got some value. Hopefully you can see the shift. Let's make the shift from time first thinking over to value first thinking. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you liked this video, comment, subscribe, do whatever. And if you want, I have a 7-hour free course pretty much teaching you exactly how to get paid for your value and not your time. It's pretty much teaching you sales. That's the top link in the description. So I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.